Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at some more old comics. On my left here we have Amazing Spider-Man number 547, written by David Michelinie and drawn by Erik Larsen back in 1991. And on the right there we have Fantastic Four Annual number 6, written by Stan Lee and drawn by Jack Kirby from 1968. Two classic books right here. And these are the Marvel facsimile editions, which are reprinted with old ads from the time. And it's really a great nostalgia trip, especially for The Amazing Spider-Man, which, brings back so many memories here. So we're going to look at that one first. Let's just put Fantastic Four to the side. We have Amazing Spider-Man 447. And you got Venom on the cover. And, this is Erik Larsen in his prime. Some good stuff. Right away you see there's a Game Boy ad. And that just brings back the memories. Totally does. Amazing Spider-Man, great art. Look at that full page of Venom. The Boneyard Hop, it says. And they're basically on an island here. And, Peter Parker's going up against Venom, Eddie Brock, and going back and forth. There's Eddie Brock. He gets the Venom symbiote ripped off his head there. And Spider-Man's running. He doesn't know how to defeat him. And then, look, you got a Mickey Mantle trading cards, baseball cards. Every kid was collecting those. Look at the art of Peter Parker. This is an older Peter Parker, married to Mary Jane now. In the movies, they always depict him as a high school kid. So it cuts away to Mary Jane, worrying about Peter, like, oh, I hope he's okay. And some kids are throwing snowballs at her. She's an old lady. She, looks great. Great artist here, Erik Larsen. Some Venom stuff. Great action. Look at this. Double Dragon 3. Does anyone remember playing that? And you really see the art, the menacing look of Venom, his teeth, his tongue. Really cool. This is great here. The Mile High Comics. This is a store from Denver, Colorado. And 50-cent comics. And you can just pause and look at all the names of the comics there. Really interesting stuff there. So like I said, you got Peter Parker looking great. Venom looking great. The art's great. It's just a silly little side story of Peter Parker and Venom on an island here. And, Peter has to defeat Venom and get back home, I guess. So then it cuts away to Flash Thompson with Black Cat. And you see her. She looks great too. And She's thinking, oh, where's Spider-Man, Has a little crush on Spider-Man. And then Peter eventually figures out a way to beat Venom here. And he lures the symbiote off and, makes a run for it, ends up attacking him. Cuts to Aunt May. Taking a minute to appreciate the art. It's just really beautiful. Hit the Stan soapbox here. Look at that drawing of Venom. Incredible. So it's just a fun little action story. And he tricks Venom into thinking that, there's a graveyard there. And Spider-Man tricks Venom into thinking that he killed Spider-Man. So Eddie Brock's like, yes, I'm finally free. I beat him. And then Peter Parker is on the boat there. He escaped. Or no, sorry, that's Peter Parker. And then next, the Avengers and Sandman. And then you have these little letters to the editor and whatnot. And some of the people are complaining, saying that they don't like Spider-Man's colors, but the suit, saying it should be red and blue instead of red and black. The inking. And it's just funny to hear people have always been nitpicking about this kind of stuff. It's really interesting. And here's all the issues. You can sign up 71 cents a copy back then and order all the issues. And you just look at how all the big names, Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, Captain America, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, G.I. Joe, Iron Man, Punisher, Silver Surfer, Spectacular Spider-Man, all these great books. They didn't have that many. It wasn't oversaturated. Titles every kid wanted to enjoy. And this is a type of book that, is marketed to kids, obviously. but adults can read it. I'm reading it as an adult now, and like Dungeons and Dragons, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, this is a nice nostalgic trip. Great story, great art, beautifully done. So then we have the Fantastic Four Annual number 6 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And this is an annual, so it's a 50-page book. It's pretty thick. Once again, I'm just going to kind of just gloss over it, go through like the cool nostalgic ads. Basically this story, Annihilus is in it. You have, the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, Thing, Human Torch. And what's going on here is the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, is in the hospital giving birth, and they're not sure if she's going to make it, so they venture into the negative zone to try and find something that'll help her. The Spectacular Spider-Man coming out. And it's just a classic Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. This is what I really wanted to show you. So they have like bodybuilding and muscle workout routines. It's pretty funny because it's like, you think of kids reading this after school and it's like, oh yeah, I see Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm going to start working out. And it really was true. Everyone wanted to be like their heroes. And, you got Annihilus. Annihilus, these older books, back in the 60s and 70s are really kind of cartoony. And Annihilus is so much more intimidating now, and in future books, like there's a big series, Annihilation, with Annihilus in it. And here he's kind of goofy, and he doesn't really come off as menacing as you would think. But the color's great. It's a great nostalgic trip. Look at this. They have an ad here to get your GED. Isn't that funny? Like a kid's dropped out of school, he's reading this comic, and then he's like, oh, I got to get my high school diploma. Like, what? I wonder, they got to still have GEDs now. You can get your work clothes bundle. Like, is a kid getting work clothes? It's kind of funny to see some of the ads here. But just skipping a few. Karate for 99 cents. And it's just a sort of action-adventure with 3 of the Fantastic Four, in the negative zone, battling all these beasts and battling Annihilus. And look at the facial expression of Reed Richards there. Classic Jack Kirby art. This is back in their heyday. Look at plastic pillows for $1.50. You can get Thor, you can get Incredible Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel. Wow. So eventually, Reed Richards gets an agreement here with Annihilus, and they work out a deal. So Annihilus gets what he wants, and Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four get what they want, and they have the device to save Sue Storm. Look at that shot right there. So they get back there, and she's able to give birth. You got Franklin Richards, little baby there. I love Ben Grimm, the Thing, wearing his little jacket there with the collar up. Like he's really going to blend in. So great book right here. A nice nostalgic trip. But overall, I would say this Amazing Spider-Man book was much more enjoyable to me. It was more of a serious tone, whereas this, like I said, Annihilus kind of comes off as kind of goofy there. I know I skimmed through that one a little faster, but take my word for it, he's pretty goofy. He like just, oh, I'll get you, you wretched heroes, and he says like corny things, and it's like, you read future Annihilus stories like Annihilation, which I think came out in 2010, and that just makes him so much more intimidating. There's another series called Infinity, written by Jonathan Hickman and various other artists, and it compiled the Infinity Saga, it compiled Avengers and New Avengers. It's a great trade paperback, and Annihilus sort of makes an alliance with the Avengers there, and he's more intimidating there as well. Venom's always been pretty intimidating, and you look at, just his mouth, his teeth, he looks scary there. And overall, great books. I love that Marvel releases these facsimile editions. These are more expensive than the True Believers, which are only $1. As you can see, this is a $3.99, so it's $4. It's a standard floppy. It's like 20 pages. This is 48 pages, and it's $4.99, so it's $5. But overall, if you're new to the characters, or you don't really know what you're getting into, They're good to tip your toes in and see if you want to buy a big collected edition. Really, you can't go wrong with Amazing Spider-Man with the Venom era in the late 80s, early 90s. Great saga. You know, you had Todd McFarlane, you have Erik Larsen, David Michelinie, great people there. And you can't go wrong with Jack Kirby and Stan Lee with the Fantastic Four from the 60s and then into the 70s. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of these books. Let me know if you're reading them, if you've read them before in the past, or you're just reading them for the first time. And stay tuned for later in the day where I'll do a video showcasing all the books I got at the comic shop. So, thanks, everybody. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.